Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So as promised, I'll get this up to you on Friday. This is the Grabie watercolour book that I did a flip through of. Grabie have sent these to me and given us a 15% off code, which I'll put in the link below. Go and have a look at their website. Actually, they've got some incredible stuff over there. Really impressed. So lucyjustaddscolour 15 is the code. If you put that in, you should get 15% off. I'm not making any money out of that, but it's just really nice for you to have that. So I've got my Windsor and Newton Cottmans, and what I love about this little set is that I can take this apart so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull off the mixing trays. These are the spares. They always come with a spare set. I'm going to put that to one side. I'm doing it out of the classic book rather than the autumn book, just because I fell in love with the little mushroom page here. I've got my mixing palette, and I've got some fine brushes here. I've got my very favouriteest brush, which is the Windsor and Newton size 6 round foundation. They're really quite inexpensive paintbrushes and they come in a set. Then I've got two here, silver black velvets. I've got a 0 just in case I need it, and a size 4, both rounds. I might introduce some other paintbrushes, but I don't think so. So if you caught my flip through, you'll know that this is 300 gram watercolour paper, 100% cotton. So we should be able to play around really nicely with this. I'm going to take, on my very messy mat, because you can see I've been having lots of fun, I'm going to take this beautiful washi tape. Don't ask me where I got it from, I don't know. It was from my diamond painting days. And I'm going to tape it down. And this should stop it warping when it gets wet. I sound like I know what I'm doing, don't I? Don't I sound professional, folks? So I hope you're all okay. I am getting very excited about my week's holiday. I've got a week's holiday next week. The husband booked another holiday. Well, we have our little caravan down in Cornwall, so it costs next to nothing for us to go down there and stay. And so when you work like the husband does, they're important to have these breaks. So I'm just going to make sure their edges are taped down. This is really good washi tape. You don't want anything too sticky. If you haven't got a decent washi tape, then I've been using the Scotch tape. This is it's really low tack. Just the same as washi tape really, but it's really quite good. Okay, I haven't even thought about this. So the first thing I want to do is to mix up a beige. Now my wonderful friend and subscriber Sue got me this book, the Watercolour Painter's Pocket Palette. Now basically it's a mixing guide. It's out of print unfortunately, but she managed to find me one on eBay. And it's got all, you know, like if you mix cadmium red with cerulean, these are the colours you're going to get. It's just an awesome, it's like a Bible now for me. So this tells me how to mix that beige, that elusive beige that I was looking for last time I was painting. Don't go rolling away on me. So I might stay out like this a little bit. I know the image can be quite difficult to see, but when we've mixed this beige, I might be able to move in a little bit, but it just stops you being able to see everything if I come in too close. I suppose we could come in just a tad. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Okay, so my book is telling me that if I mix, let me get my colours out. Here are the colours for the Windsor and Newton Cottman. It says if I mix ultramarine with a touch of cadmium red, I should get beige. Isn't that incredible? So I've got to work out which one's ultramarine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's this one at the top there, ultramarine. Oh, don't be falling apart on me, it feels wobbly. So I'm going to get a bit of ultramarine. Let's get enough of that in there. And I think the trick is here is to make sure you've mixed up enough paint. I always mix a gallon of everything, of course, but I would rather have extra colour, which I can leave to dry in my palette and reuse it at another date, than not have enough. So, okay, so I've got the ultramarine and now I want the cadmium red. I'm going to go in with cadmium red hue, number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to get a touch of that and see what happens. This is what it says. So we'll keep going. A bit more red. You'd have thought it'd just make purple, wouldn't you? It says ultramarine, touches of cadmium red. I don't know, it's just going to make purple if you ask me. That one. Okay, that's just going to make purple. That doesn't make much sense to me. Okay. Let's just flip through and find a beige colour that I like that's mushroomy. Ooh. That's quite nice. Yellow ochre and violet. That one. It's quite a nice colour. I just want like a beige colour. Bear with me, I will find one. I flipped to that page. It didn't even occur to me that I would be mixing purple. We can use it. How thick am I? Oh dear. Yeah, that was a bit thick of me, wasn't it, really? I mean, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? Oh dear. Please don't tell me I've got to start the video again. No, it should be. Oh, it would seem that beige is quite an elusive colour to make, wouldn't it? I think last time when we wanted a beige, I think I mixed browns. I think I mixed brown and white. That mushroom colour is quite a funny colour to make, isn't it? Should we just play about? I think we should just play about until we find it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, sorry about that, being really dim. So I'm going to take, let's have a look. Let's take Van Dyke Brown, which is, oh gosh, if that's 15, that's 30, this is 45, check my maths out. This is Van Dyke Brown here. I'm going to take Van Dyke Brown. Love a bit of Van Dyke Brown. Sorry about that, folks. Just, that's what happens when you don't plan ahead and you're just ploughed in. Didn't even occur to me, well, Lucy, red and blue make purple, you idiot. Anyway, so let's put a little bit of, let's put a tiny bit of the let's have a little bit of cadmium yellow. That will lighten it up and put it more on the yellow side. Funny that. And then I'm going to add white. And I think this is mucky from the last time we used it, so I've just cleaned it up. There we go. Okay, I think we're getting there. Okay, and don't forget it will dry lighter. So I've got a scrap piece of copy paper here. It's quite a nice colour, but it's not the beige that I was looking for. So I wonder if we mix a bit of a touch of Payne's Grey in there. Just a touch. See what happens then. Ooh, now we might be onto something. That's kind of more mushroomy. Yes, okay, so we're going to give that a go. So, obviously with this paper you could do wet on wet, you can do wet on dry, but I am going to go in wet on dry to start with. And I'm going to take this mixture that we've just mixed up, and I'm going to be really brave, and I'm going in. And let's put it that side. So now, just like colouring, oh gosh, yes, this paper is good. It's smooth, and I'm used to working with cold pressed paper, which has got a texture on it, but so I've just switched to my number 4 brush, which is my silver black velvet one. And we're going to fill this up. I mean, of course, we didn't need, doesn't necessarily have to be beige, does it? It could be, it could have been a darker colour, but I'm going to put darker on the edge, so let's get around these tiny bits. And there's some really tiny pieces in this picture, so, but it's just like colouring, just get your colours down. And we can go back over it, so I'm going to take a tiny bit of water and see what we can do. So look, it's lifting, it's spreading out, it's absolutely perfect, look at that. So my deranged bumblebee one, this the paper in that book wouldn't do any of this. You couldn't, it just like, and it was soaked up into the, do you like my sound effects there? It was just soaked up into the ether. Whereas this, look, I'm removing it. We're going to get that nice watercolour edges. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to wet this bit, make life a little easier for myself. And then we'll go in with that colour we've mixed. And we'll put it in, drop it in. Just spreads a whole lot easier. And looks nicer. I think anyway. You get a much more smoother effect. And we're going to go up here with it. There we go. So now, because it is 100% cotton, it does take a little bit longer to dry than other papers. I'm just going to see if I can push that pigment around a bit more. There we go, look at that lifting. You can lift it off. So I've got a cloth here, and let's just look at that. I want this edge here, I think, a bit lighter than this edge. There's a bug on my page, how rude, get off. There we go. That's so cool. Alright, so I've got a nice light edge, and I'm just going to use up the rest of that, drop that in that wet paint that we've already got down there, and just let that spread out. Okay, so we have to let that dry. Now, for my big leaves, I am going to take my very trusty sap green. Can you tell which one it is? These are the greens here. Have a guess. Yeah, it's the one with the dent in it. That's how I know which one it is. And it's beautiful. I love it. It's such a beautiful colour. So I'm going to get enough of that activated. Alright. And then what ones am I going to do? I'm going to do these big ones. And I didn't wet it first. So I'm just going to put this edge on. I like it better. I like the look of the paint on wet. And I'll just push that back in. I could do with a bit of a bigger brush, I think. Okay, now I'll go in and drop that sap green in. And then obviously I'm going to come back with a darker colour, but I think it's easier with watercolour, and usually how it's done, I think, is lighter to darker. So that's what we're going to do. Look at that. It spreads out so nicely. I know a few of you have been inspired to have a go at watercolouring. And like I said, I have developed my own watercolour paints. Not sparkly ones or metallic ones. I leave that up to Rebecca at the Art Spirits. She's the expert there. But just normal matte paints like this. I've developed my own. And opened a little Etsy shop. There's nothing on it at the minute. I have sold a couple of watercolour paintings that I did. One of a willow tree by the water, and another one of a big wave scene. I'm going to do sap green on these, but I'm just going to do wet on dry here, just because it's easier to control. Yeah, so I'll let you know how the paints go. I think my members, there's a few members that are really excited to try them, so that's lovely. People are so kind and thoughtful. Oh, got the shakes. And so everything will dry a whole lot lighter. There we go. And then we need a different green. What green can we go in with? We'll make our own at some point, but I think Hooker's Green might be nice. Let's try. That's very bright, I think, Hooker's Green, if I remember correctly. What's this one? That is... oh yeah, that's Viridian, I think. Hang on a minute. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know. What is it? Viridian. Yeah, it is. Viridian. Very, very bright, look. Really bright, intense green. Well, I don't like bright, intense greens. So, I'm going to mix it. I'm going to chuck in a little bit of Payne's Grey. And we're going to make a very dark green with it. It's still erring on the blue side, if I show you. But very beautiful. A bit like the dark green in the Primsa set. Very beautiful colour. So I'm going to wet this leaf. Let's do this one with that. And that's the beauty of watercolours, is that you can make, as you know, there's a infinite colours you can make. Okay, so we'll have these in that beautiful blue colour, because why not? And then we'll do a few like ultramarine clouds where we lift the colour out, and I'll show you. It's so easy. I need to get some tissue for that. I haven't got any to hand, so we'll do that in a bit. Okay, got those wet, and we'll go in and put that in. So while we're on the subject, you've got this video this week, and then I'm not sure there'll be a mini Monday, because it just depends on time, and I'm currently trying to get my romantic country page out. I've gone over there. That's all right, we can lift it off. To my members early, because because of going on holiday. So I'm not sure that there'll be mini Monday. I will see. It depends on what if I've come up with anything ingenious to add to our little encyclopedia of how-tos. If not, there'll be a finished page that I'll put up sort of midweek, so that the YouTube algorithm doesn't slam me for being missing too long. I've got right out the line there. Yes, it doesn't like it when you go missing. And it tells you, oh look, your views are down. Your subscribers are down. You now feel down. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, right. So we need, I'll make that one even darker, and we can use that on these leaves. Okay, let me put a little bit more Payne's Grey in there. We'll make it really dark. Really, really dark. Well, actually, we'll leave that, because we can use that back on this one. What we'll do is take more sap green, because that's the colour we used for that first leaf. If we take more sap green and we mix Payne's Grey, you don't need to mix grey, but if you mix Payne's Grey with that sap green, we're going to get a very dark version of it. Look at that. I'll show you on a piece of blank paper. Like that. So we've got a very dark version of it. And what it does is just sort of keeps the page harmonious. So we're going to make this half, I think. I might have to switch brushes. This is not my favourite brush for fine work, believe it or not. Okay, I'm going to pull that in. There we go. And then, just cleaned off my brush, I'm just going to run along that edge, soften that edge out a little bit, and then go straight in with some neat sap green. There we go. And then back in with the dark. And I'm just going to let them do their thing and mix together while the page is wet. Alright, let's do that again. So I'm going to re-wet this leaf because it's very dry, and I now want that wet in wet. A bit more in there. And then I'm going to go in here, the bottom here. With the dark. And then some sap. Drop that in. I'll tell you what, it's much easier to do painting freehand than trying to stay in the lines. Like the paintings that I did were all my own, just using the paintbrush. I didn't draw any lines first, I just did it sort of freehand. Let that dry. Okay, I'm going to do the same here. And drop in the dark one that we mixed, the dark version of this. Let's drop that in. Oh, I thought it was a wasp. I can't abide wasps. Just a fly, Lucy, just a fly. Okay, so we have to kind of let that dry to see the benefit, and that leaf's gone into that one, which is quite nice. Let's do this part. Yeah, I don't think I'm much of a keeping the lines painter. I think I'm much more of a just drop some straight Viridian in there. I'm much more of a ad-libber, not necessarily loose. I'm not a loose watercolourist, I don't think. I think I'm too much of a control artist for that. I like being in control. But I think I'm much better when it comes to a bit of freehand painting. Although I'm thoroughly enjoying it. We'll just see how it turns out. I'm putting that dark in again. And then I'm going to go straight in with that that Viridian. That bright Viridian green. And I'm going to mix that in. Wet brush. There we go. And we're going to do the same. It's going to take a while, folks, so I hope you don't mind me prattling about on camera. These things are not quick. It's much easier on my hands and very, very relaxing and enjoyable, but they're not quick projects. Bright Viridian. Love that, actually, and I'm not much of a bright green person, but that I really like. There we go. And you just have to let them dry, but you can see how much water's on there, and the paper is just taking it beautifully. Okay, we're going to do the same for these. So I'm going in with, I'm just re-wetting it and going in with that dark version of the sap green we made. Like that. We need to be careful. We should leave that one to dry, really. And then straight in with some neat sap green. drop that in. I need to make some more of this dark Viridian one. So Viridian and Payne's Grey. And oh, my shaky hands. Oh, that's the wrong colour. Oh well. Oh well. Never mind, folks, never mind. These things are sent to try us. And try us they do. Doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt, I don't think. Okay. I'm going to mix some more sap green. And Payne's Grey. There we go. Take some of it off. I'm going to try and get just a nice dark line in there. You can get liner brushes or what they call rigger brushes to do this, but this one is quite fine if your hand's not shaking all over the place. And we'll do that on the inside here, and we'll go back with some sap green in a minute when that's dry. I don't want that to sort of spread all over the page. Like that. Okay. And in there. So I think the trick is being patient, going off, do something else, and then come back to it. And you can always then tidy it up. We can go over it with some other colour or whatever. So, right, we need a mushroom colour. So I want a nice, really dark, rich red. So I'm going to go in with Cadmium Red Deep, I think. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Permanent Rose. So it must be this one. But these look darker, don't they? But that doesn't always follow. So I'm going to go in with a bit... Oh, that looks like rose. Yeah. Oh dear. So it must be this one. I was going to say that looks darker. That's the only thing with these watercolours is while they're dry, they all look the same. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of that red. And then I want to darken some of that up. Let's get the light colour down first though. So I'm going to go in dry so that I've got more control round these round our little white bits. You could use masking fluid to preserve your white spots on your mushroom. But you could also use Dr. Martens pH No Bleed White to put your dots in, so I might do that afterwards. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with some darker shades. So you're going to miss me while I'm on holiday? I think you are. I'm going to miss you guys. I love my filming schedule. I think it's really good, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I think it's been really good. Although we don't always stick to it, but that's we don't always stick to watercolour or whatever Wednesdays. We just throw in what we need to, which is nice. Let's go around here very cautiously. but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Like I say, there's ways of putting white back on things. Okay, is it beginning to come to life a little bit? Then we can always take pencil and tidy up. Just want a bit more water, just get that flowing. It dries up really quickly because it's such a small quantity that I'm using. It dries up really quickly. What's that? You said don't tell me you're bored. Come on. Get your paintbrush out. I'm just joking with you all. So, I think we're going to be lucky. It's said, the weather has said, that, you know, us people from the UK, we're obsessed with weather because we have such extremes of it. We're never sort of settled for more than 5 minutes. We can go through 4 seasons in one day. I'm sure you've heard people talk about that, but we can. The weather has said that this week is going to be more settled and warmer. So I think we picked a good one. So what I will do is I will film my finished pages, although one of them, double page spread in Romantic Country, is not going to be finished. I know that. But I will finish my I will film my finished pages even and get that up to you on Wednesday because I'm not around. And then it will just be sort of Friday that you don't get a video, and then I'll be back. Okay. So at this point, if you wanted to put pencil detail on here, you could just stop and do an underpainting, and you could put pencil on. We could bring this mushroom to life. Because this paper is smooth, it would work. In fact, we can try some pencil, I think. Oh, I'll just put it in the green. That's not good. That's definitely not good. We can try some pencil, yeah. Okay. There we go. So we've got a little red mushroom top. And I think instead of wasting this purple that I mixed, it needs more water, I might have those little berries this colour. So it was cadmium red and ultramarine, wasn't it? What a beautiful colour, look at that. Little blueberries instead. That's gorgeous. There we go. I'm trying, folks, to be as neat as possible. Not always easy with my hands. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the Van Dyke Brown now, and I am going to put an edge up that mushroom. Van Dyke Brown and maybe a little white, and we'll see how that comes out. You can't see it, I'll turn the pan around here like that, and then Van Dyke Brown and a little white, just so it's a bit paler. I don't want it too dark. So Van Dyke Brown and white, and then I'm going to put that on this darker edge. Hopefully my greens are dry and I can go straight over them. put my hand straight in the wet paint because I should be waiting, really. Should wait for it to dry. I might just finish this bit and then let it dry. Okay, so we've got two different tones. We've got a darker one underneath that mushroom top. I'm just going to take some water and blend that out a little bit more. In there. There we go. We'll get there, we'll get there. It just takes time. Like I said, these projects are not quick. I think they can be a whole lot easier on your hands, but they're not fast because you have to be patient. And that's something I struggle with. Patience. Okay, we're just going to put some of that in. Let's just streak that in. And we'll put some around here. Like that. Okay, now I think I have no choice but to let it dry now. Okay, so I will be back when that's dry, and I know you're thinking, oh Lucy, that looks a whole holy mess, but we'll sort it out, we'll tidy it up. This is the process with watercolours. You have to go through this stage of that looks ugly to get to where you want it to be. Alright, I will see you in a minute. Okay, I think we're mostly dry. I'm going to go back in and just do a little bit of brushwork tidy up. So same colours, I've not mixed anything new. I just want a bit of tidying up going on. This is my control element. See, I can't leave anything alone. I have to fiddle, faff, and usually spoil things because I can't leave them alone. Okay, so I want to get that half of the leaf much darker. I want to go over my mistake here. Oh, don't start shaking. Okay. I want a little bit more of just the plain sap green up those leaves. I think I'm going to do pencil maybe on these smaller ones. I don't know if I can, my hands are going to allow me to do such tiny details. We'll see. Sometimes they will, other times they're just like, no. And it's like my brain knows I need an element of control, and it just starts like shooting the paint across the page. You know, my hand will jerk and go across the page. You have to laugh, folks, you know. I'm going back in with that lovely purple mix that we made. I'm going to darken up the bottom of that berry. It's just the same colour, I'm just darkening it up. Okay. I want some of the Viridian. Just a bit of tidy up work. Just to appease the voice in my head that says that's messy. and it's your painting, so if you're not happy, you just keep playing. I mean, as long as you let it dry in between, the paper will just keep taking it. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go in here. And because when it's dry, you can see where I didn't quite get up to the edge on things. So I'm trying to do that. And then sort of trying to smush out that line you get. But it's just a bit of patience, I think, and then just, that's the wrong colour, Lucy. I want the dark one. I'm just going to mix a bit more of that Payne's Grey in there. And, yeah, the Viridian. And, well, Payne's Grey. Okay. See my hand then? It's just weird. I could do a streak a minute ago of really fine, a really fine line, and then it just kind of takes that ability away. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I don't think so. I think that's too neat. You can't have that. Okay, now to me that's, I'm much happier now. Oh, it's going to do the dance. Can you see it? Oh gosh, it's so annoying. Okay, I want that sap green on this one. There we go. Getting there now, folks. I'm getting there now. It's going to irk me that I can't do those little ones. I wonder if I could lift that mess off there. Let's see. Well, kind of. Yeah, maybe just leave it alone. Right, let me try that tiny little brush, that 0, and see what we can come up with. So I've got some plain sap green in here, in this one. And let's mix that with some, let's try mixing it with that purple that we mixed at the beginning. Let's see what happens. We might get like an olivey green look. That's nice. Okay, so I've mixed that with the bigger brush, and then I'm going to try and go in on these tiny leaves. Just going to risk it. Okay. Do you know what I find though, is these brushes, although they're brilliant, they have such long bristles. I know, can I find them? I purchased, where are they? I purchased some tiny nail brushes, although I bet you I can't find them. No, I don't know where I've put them. That's handy, Lucy. Yes, very clever. I purchased some tiny nail brushes for doing nail art. And I don't know where I've put them, but that seems to be working. That's okay. Are you up for a long video? I should split this into two, shouldn't I? But then people don't come back and watch because you're very naughty. You don't come back and watch the second half. And then YouTube says to me, well, you didn't do very well on that one, did you? And then you just go into a spiral of despair. Okay. Let's just get that in there. Okay. Hopefully we can do the lifting thing on it because I want to put some ultramarine down. And see if we can lift some clouds, but I need to go and get tissue. Well, it's not going too bad. I'll have to use pencil, I think. That's a pretty colour that we mixed. So that was cadmium red with ultramarine, and then I put it in with the sap green. That's a very pretty, like, grey green we've got. I like that. That book that Sue got me that I showed you at the beginning is absolutely brilliant. If you're not dim and rushing about like I was and thinking, oh yeah, that's the colour, I'll mix that, and it just clearly, plainly obvious that blue and red make purple, but I just went into it blind without even thinking. Okay, oh, we've got a few more down here. So we'll put a few of those in. Yeah, I think these are beautiful books, and if you want to do watercolouring, colouring books, these are the way to go. The best ones I've found, I think. Harry Potter ones are good. They're really good. The paper in that is really good. But this is just sort of extra special that you can pull them out. The paper is 100% cotton. All the things that you want in a good quality book. Let's drop some of that in there. Okay, then all we've got is one big leaf down the bottom, and I think I'm going to go in with bigger brush and make sure it's clean. Go back in with that red that we had. And I think we're going to have a red mushroom leaf. Why not? Let's do it. And it'll match the top. If you're still with me, thank you. I do appreciate it. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I can use that. Dr. Martens is absolutely brilliant stuff. Don't fall off. This Dr. Martens bleed proof white, and it works like a charm on watercolour. I should have wet it first, but usually if you wet a patch that where you want the colour to go, it will stay within that patch usually, unless you've like swamped it with water, obviously. But then we can come in with a darker red. I'll make some dark red. And we'll add some shadows to our leaf and our mushroom top. Put a little bit more shadow on our mushroom itself, on the base, I think. Just some straight Van Dyke brown, which I did a streak of there before it dried too quickly, while I was, you know, when I went off camera. There, we got a little red mushroom leaf. That looks pretty cool. And we can, like I say, we can tidy up with pencil if you want to, if you feel we need to. I'm just pulling some of that red out that we had, and I'm going to darken that, I think, probably with Van Dyke brown again. And one thing I'd learned from watching all the videos that I have, if they were saying if you can mix with the fewest colours on your mix with the fewest colours to make the colours you want, the more harmonious the page will be. So I want the Van Dyke brown, which was this one, I think, it's dried up. Yeah. I'm going to put some Van Dyke brown in there, and we're going to see if we can get a really lovely, rich, dark red. Let's see how that's come out. A bit more. Let's see how that comes out. That little tester sheet. I love that colour. I'm going to have to remember that combination. There we go. It's like an English red. Isn't that beautiful? So we're going to try that, where I want some shadow on our little mushroom. So I want, let's see, round the base here. Ooh, very careful. Like that. And then up here. If I can continue to do these, it's fine when I can lean on my hand like this, but when I can't, that's when like all my muscles go into complete spasm and overdrive. Here we go. All right. Now I think I'm going to make this side darker. So I'm going to come in with this like English red that we've mixed and pull that in. Like I said, I'd rather go back in with that Dr. Martens white to put those dots back in, or reshape the dots at least, than and have the mushroom look better. Okay, that's nice. It's lovely, isn't it, that colour? Okay, then I'm going to go back to that red that we had straight off the palette, and I'm going to mix those two in. That there. And pull this red out. I'm gonna keep going, because otherwise I'll get another like harsh line on there. Okay, a bit more of that red. Oh, that's my tummy rumbling. I hope you can't hear it. It must be lunchtime. Oh, yeah, more than lunchtime. It's 2 o'clock. No wonder I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. Silly, silly belly girl. It's all this arting. I can't help it. I should be as skinny as a rake then, really, shouldn't I? It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me like that. I don't know. It's because I'm so inactive because of the... I'm going back to the English red. I'm calling it English red, but... it's because I'm so inactive and then eat like a normal person. I don't binge eat and stuff, but I eat like everybody else and I'm not burning it off. I used to go for lots and lots of walks. Okay, I think we step away from that. And then I'm going to take that Van Dyke Brown, neat Van Dyke Brown. Absolutely love Van Dyke Brown, in case you didn't know from the last couple of paintings. It's such an awesome colour. So I've got quite a lot on my palette there, so it's quite dark. And I'm just going to swap brushes to that tiny one that we used, the 0. And I'm going to sort of roll it through the paint so that the bristles stay sharp, if that makes any sense. Okay, now I'm going to try. Here we go. Well, I don't suppose it matters if my lines are a little wobbly, does it, on a mushroom? I'm going to try and put these in. Like that. It's working so far, she says, and you know what'll happen? Okay, I'm actually really quite impressed with myself so far. The leaves are a bit questionable because of I don't know, because well, they're just a bit questionable, they're a bit scruffy. Oh, it's so enjoyable, it's so relaxing. I know you will have been sat with me for a long time, but that's because I'm not cutting the video like I normally do. And I know I could have put this out in 2 parts. But you could always watch it in 2 parts. Come back to it. It really does help my channel if, there we go, the shakes are back. If you can just like the video and just, you know, even if you just keep coming back and you don't watch it in one sitting, it really helps. Let's put some of these darker, interesting spots in. Staying with that tiny brush. I don't want to try and be too clever with it, do you know what I mean? Like, too much detail. I just want to bring out that little flute on the top. And then make that bit dark. There we are. And this bit. Okay, and there's a couple more like detail-y bits. Like that. Now it looks more like a mushroom. Now we're getting there. Okay, I'll leave that to dry. And then I think we'll have the neat Van Dyke brown on the windowsills. Like that. And on the door. Oh, I've got very shaky hands now. Like that. Door frame, that can be dark. Then we've got to put that lovely English red in that our mushroom leaf that we created. Okay, a bit round here. Very relaxing. I watch a lot of the ASMR or ASMR, I think it is. Yeah. Paintings, and I've found a lady that does the Ghibli Studio paintings. Have you heard of Ghibli Studio? It's like a Japanese film thing. Oh gosh, the paintings she does are incredible. Okay, right. Now I'm going to have to let that dry again, and then I'm going to come back, I think, with a few pencils, and we are going to try some ultramarine. I'm going to put it in a cloud shape and see if it lifts. Ultramarine should lift because it's not a staining colour, but I'm going to try it in a cloud shape first. So if it doesn't lift, we can make some ultramarine blue clouds, and we'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to add a few pencil details. Oh, we need to finish our mushroom leaf, don't we? Let's get that Van Dyke brown out of there. So this is back to my number 4 brush, and I'm going in with that dark red that we mixed. Did you hear the wood pigeon then? It's a lovely sound, but at like 4 in the morning, you want to just like throw insults at it through the window. There it is. I'm going to go back in with that red that we used. Yeah. I don't do animal cruelty, and I couldn't even bear to think about it. It really upsets me. But I certainly could throw verbal abuse at it when it sits outside your window at 4 in the morning, doing that noise, the same noise over and over again. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Right, I'm going to let it completely dry because I don't want to touch the background until we've got... I know that this is dry. I was tempted then, but I'm not going to. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Right, completely dry. So I've got a few pencils that I am going to chuck at it. I've got a light umber here, so I am just running these Prismacolor pencils. And all I'm doing is, my intention is not to add colour in pencil other than just to tidy up the edge. And that's it. like where I've missed and didn't quite get into the... Done. Didn't quite get into the corners. That's it. That's all I'm doing for that. Then I've got... what is that? Olive green to do the sap green ones with. So it's just literally just to go where my hands wouldn't allow me to. You know where that dark colour is. That's all round there. There we go. Then I've got dark green and peacock green for this one. So a bit of dark green, because it's got that lovely sort of bluey colour to it. And then I'm just going to soften that edge off. And put that the leaves in, and not the leaves, what do you call them, stems, veins. Oh gosh, Lucy, I've got so much on my mind. And then I'm going to take a blender pencil to that. Okay, blender pencil to make sure it's clean. Just want to soften that edge off. Okay, same with this one. There we go. I'm just going to take peacock green, see if that's okay. Just for that edge. It was probably actually more suited to the darker one, but this one. Okay, step away. I want, I think, now this is going to be a challenge, I don't know if I can find it, but, oh, look at that. Bit of lime peel, I think, to get up in this edge for this sap green. There we are, and these. That's a really good match for that. So just taking it up to the edge, that's it. Oh, give me 1 second, my memory card's full. Sorry about that, I hadn't emptied it, and it gets built up really quickly. So lime peel again over that. I'm just going to use that to sort of pull out, soften off that edge. Put a bit more interest in those leaves. Like that. I'm just really just showing you that you can use, you don't have to do watercolour if you don't want to, but you can use different media on this paper, and the Primsas are laying down like a dream on it. Okay, I want something that's going to match those a little bit, so maybe a bit of Kelly green. Good old Kelly green, got to love a bit of Kelly green. It's a bit dark, but it will be nice to just edge them with. And then Just put that patterning back in there, and then we'll cover up the stalk or the stem. Oh dear. And let's try a little bit of grey-green light. Yeah, that works. We'll get a little bit of highlight in there. Sorry, the crazy dog next door's out. Put some in there too. There we go. Oh dear, the dog barking fest going on. Perhaps it's like 101 Dalmatians and they're all chatting to each other. Gosh, I spend too much time on my own, folks, clearly. Okay. I'm just gonna sharpen that Kelly green. And then we haven't got too much more to do. And we're there. I really should have split this into 2 parts because it's going to be a long video. But bit of Kelly green. Okay, grey-green light. And we'll put some down here too. And we'll have just some veins on these ones. Don't know if it will show up on that, it's too dark, but we can try. No harm in trying. Okay, we're nearly there, folks. Grey-green light. Okay, and then I've got oh, a bit of terracotta for the edge of our mushroom here. Like that, you know, where we put in our dark, that what I called our English red. Just put that terracotta in. And this is purely, really, because you could see my lines, because I can't go up to the edge because of my hands. And we're going to have terracotta come around here. But it's completely not necessary. I'm just showing you that this paper will allow you to do all of this and more. I should have done the door red, shouldn't I? Let me take that English red and we'll do the door red. The little door, that English red that we mixed, or whatever you want to call it. It would just tie everything all in together, I think. Like that. And we can leave the little handle white like the mushroom. There we go, let that dry. And so I want a little bit of terracotta down here. We can put a couple of little veins coming up there. Okay. All right. I'll tidy that up when that's dry. Okay, now we've got to do the scary thing, which is I'm going to take a bigger brush, not too much bigger. I'm going to take, well, a size 8, and I'm going to take, just going to clean this off. Let me just clean this purple out. I'm going to take the ultramarine. Okay, so I've just cleaned that out. I'm going to take ultramarine. Like that, quite watery. And, oh, I'm scared. Remove that hair. And then let's just, I just want to see what happens if I put some, let's put a bit of blue in. Can I lift any of that? Yeah, you can, yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So because I can't lift it all, I'm just going to put some blue clouds in, or blue shapes in, just in the background. Lift it off, and then when it's dry we can come back in with a darker blue. Let's come up into this corner. That's not how I would normally do it, but it'll work for this little fantasy picture. And then we'll have, let's have one around here. Like that. Go up to that edge. And when we peel the paper off, we'll have a lovely crisp edge. It's very satisfying to watch. Okay. I think that will look good for a bit of fantasy. And then, oh, I didn't do this. Kelly. Bit of Kelly green. My favourite greens. Kelly green. Grey green light, another favourite. And sap green, I love sap green as well. There we go. Alright, so do we want anything down here? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in with, let's mix some more ultramarine. Let's get some more ultramarine, and then I'm just at the bottom of these now. And we've got a reverse sky, which is cool for our little fantasy page, I think. Just adds a bit of interest, a bit of humour, I suppose, to it. And you could have a different colour for your sky if you wanted. You could then go back in if you've got time. Go back in, I'm just taking out that harsh edge. You could then go back in and have we could do yellow sky. Okay. And that'll dry darker. And then you could put a little bit of white pencil work just below the top of the cloud. A bit more ultramarine. When it's dry, just to make it look like wispy. There we go. Some little clouds. They remind me of Toy Story clouds. Alright, what else have we got to do? I'm just going to go round here with our light umber. I'm not going to put the terracotta. I'm not going to put the colour names on the screen. So I think if you followed along, you'll have listened to me. And you'll know. Just because I'm in a rush this week with trying to get everything done. Let's put a little bit of, oops, checking my brushes about now. A little bit of ultramarine in that little window. Very light. Way too much water. Let's soak it up. There we go. Alright, watch your ears. I'm just going to dry that really quick. And just for unifying things, I'm going to take a bit of that olive and we're going to have an olive window. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to take a white Prisma. Is she going to take a white Prisma though? Yes, there it is. And I am going to just put some white in there. Now I wouldn't do this on my, you can, I mean there's nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't do it on a watercolour painting. There's nothing wrong with mixed media pictures at all, and I think they look really effective. So just a bit of white in there, soften off any of those edges that I got. And then we can take off the tape, which is the best part. Well, one of the good parts. Prismas are amazing, aren't they? I'm just thinking that if I had more time I'd probably put some leaves up there, but my latest motto is step away while you can. I think that's probably really good advice, because I will keep faffing until I've ruined it. So I think you've sat long enough with me rambling on. Shall we take the tape off? Now if this starts to rip, we'll just use the heat gun to soften the glue. Paintbrush. That, like that, it's starting to rip. So if I just, doesn't even need to be on high heat, just soften the glue. And it just rips off beautifully. So now I've got my, I might do something down here a later date, but now I've got my Toy Story clouds, my little mushroom house, which I'm really pleased with. I really like it. I think it's actually really cute. And we've got, look, the paper quality, sorry about the blur, there we go, is so good that there is hardly any wrinkle in that whatsoever. Absolutely brilliant paper. Now in my sketchbook, which is the same as this, I would paint on the back as well. So little tip for you there, if you've enjoyed your painting and you want to do another one but you don't have enough watercolour paper, turn it over, make a little sketchbook out of it. Incredible. Really enjoyed myself. I did think for a time, oh no, this is going to be awful, but I'm really pleased with how it's come out. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And my finished pages will go up on Wednesday, I think. Let me see, what date is the 1st? Thursday. So yeah, they'll go up on Wednesday because I won't get anything done now before I go away. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll see you on Wednesday, and then it'll be back the following Monday for Mini Mondays, I think, if that's correct. Am I correct? Yeah, because this, yeah. Oh, I don't know, I'm confusing myself. A week on Monday. All right, my lovely. Thank you so much for following along. If you've stayed with me this long, you're a star, and I really appreciate it. Lots of love to you, and I will see you when I get back with hopefully lots of tales from our holiday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.